Mexico dumps U.S. Treasuries as Donald Trump marches closer to the presidency. Mexican holdings of U.S. Treasury securities have fallen 40% since Donald Trump announced his candidacy for President of the United States. And the selling of U.S. Treasuries by Mexico has accelerated during the period of time when Donald Trump racked up primary victories and finally clinched the nomination earlier this year. So is Mexico preparing for a trade showdown with the United States if Trump becomes president? Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto met with Donald Trump earlier this week, and apparently they had a productive conversation, and the concept of Donald Trump's wall did not come up. Many of you know that Donald Trump has made building a wall along the border of the United States and Mexico, and having Mexico pay for it, a centerpiece of his presidential campaign. Now this probably irked many Mexicans in Mexico, but apparently a Mexican lawmaker indicated that any attempt to make Mexico pay for the wall should be met with a bill that would expropriate U.S. assets held in the country. Now, this would lead to a retaliation for sure of Mexican assets held in the United States. So what I wanted to do is I always take a look at the chart each month that the United States Treasury puts out that shows the largest foreign holders of U.S. Treasury securities. And normally I don't pay much attention to Mexico. I normally pay attention to Russia, China, the larger holders of U.S. Treasury securities. But I wanted to take a look at what Mexico's exposure was in terms of its U.S. security holdings, its Treasury securities. And we're going to go through a chart and see what they hold. So back in April, prior to Donald Trump announcing his presidency, announcing his candidacy for the presidency, Mexico held $87.4 billion worth of U.S. Treasury securities. When Donald Trump announced in June of 2015, they held about $86.3 billion. But as you can see in the chart, as the primaries progress and as Donald Trump clinches the nomination, Mexico's holdings of U.S. Treasury securities start to fall. And when Donald Trump clinched the nomination in early May, when basically Ted Cruz dropped out, their holdings fell even more. And the most recent report by the U.S. Treasury, they're a couple of months behind, was the June holdings. The Mexican holdings of U.S. Treasury securities at the end of June were all the way down to 51.4 million. That's a 40% decline in holdings of U.S. Treasury securities. Now, that drop in Mexican holdings of U.S. Treasury securities definitely correlates with the primary season and the clinching of the nomination by Donald Trump. But is it a causation? What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments below. And also, while you're checking out this story, you can learn about Mexican Silver Libertad coins and the Mexican Mint. Here's pictures of these wonderful looking coins. If you do indeed buy them, Smaulgld gets a small commission. So please check those out as well. And also remember to sign up to receive free Smaulgld updates just by putting your email address up here at the top. Also subscribe to the Smaulgld YouTube channel. If you have to subscribe to only one, I would recommend you subscribe to the Smaulgld website, because you never know when YouTube, with its new rules on monetization, or whether Smaulgld's YouTube channel may be there in the future. Same with Twitter. These social media websites they allow people on them at their own whim. So at least if you're connected to Smaulgld.com, that's a good way of staying in touch. So please subscribe to Smaulgld.com if you've enjoyed this podcast. Thanks for listening.